This is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
And good morning and welcome to Houston Newsmakers. And good morning to Kim Ogg, the newly elected Harris County District Attorney. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Cambrell.
Has it sunk in yet about the job that you have ahead and how soon it's approaching?
Oh, it is. It is a weighty responsibility, to say the least, but it is the most exciting professional opportunity of my life. And as a native Houstonian, I think it's exciting for a lot of people.
Now, you've been able to see a lot of that office as you've been climbing up the ranks, doing various levels of prosecution and so forth within the gang office, within Crime Stoppers. So you've been around that. Now you get a chance to lead that way. How is that transition process going? What do you have to do to get ready for the way you want to do things as opposed to the old way?
Well, clarifying the mission that comes out in 1,000 different pieces in your campaign is critical. Everybody's going to have to understand what the goal is, and it's public safety. That's the deliverable. How we provide it are the goals and the strategies that we're going to employ. Those are important to iron out because that's how the people are going to know what their jobs are and how to do them, the employees of the office. And then staffing and the changes that are going to be required. It's a very time-consuming process, reviewing everybody who works there, taking applications for people who want to work there, and looking for the right fit for a new era of justice. So it's a time-consuming process and very exciting.
When someone new comes in, is the process kind of automatic that everybody who is there now offers a resignation? How does that work? Do everybody assume that they're going to be out, or they just reapply for positions that they already have?
No, that's determined by each transition team, and it's been done differently by DAs in the past. We have a process. It's on the website. But it's really a time to plan for upcoming events that may involve law and enforcement and the DA's office, like the Super Bowl. And then we've promised some big changes to our bail system. As you may know, we're in the middle of a lawsuit, Harris County is. As the DA-elect, I'm not a party yet, and it offers me some time to get both sides' perspective and see exactly what we're going to do about it. And then marijuana reform is coming. I promised that we would not be jailing people, causing them permanent criminal records following the first of the year, and so I'm getting that in place. So we've got a lot going on.
And there's a lot. You're right, there's a lot going on. And during the campaign, which is rather contentious, by the way, between you and Devin Anderson, at least from the outside looking in, I don't know.
Don't say.
Yeah, I know. What do you think at the end of the day? What do you think it was that the voters chose you over her? What do you think the biggest thing was? Have you done research into that? Have you had feedback about why they did?
Well, every campaign sort of performs an autopsy on the election and figures out, you know, what happened to the patient and why. And in the case of the district attorney's position and our election, I think voters had a clear choice on two distinctly different approaches to justice. You know, jailing a rape victim became emblematic for Devin Anderson's administration, the lengths that they would go to achieve a conviction. My position was that that was wrong, that innocent people don't belong in jail or prison, that rape victims need to be nurtured, not jailed, and that we could achieve a just result through far different means. But other issues such as prosecutorial misconduct, defending certain cases and behaviors that are reflective of a culture where winning was very important. You know, I see our job as justice, and I think that the public felt that there was some overreach by the last DA, and they want their young people to have opportunities, not just convictions.
But they do want they want your office to be tough on crime, don't they?
Well, they want to be safe, and they want our office to be tough on crime for tough criminals. But people charged with misdemeanor amounts of marijuana who are nonviolent are not seen, I think, by the general public as a threat. And it's my experience that they are not a threat, and that's what the evidence and the research seems to support as well. There
was something you said. My director's going to go nuts because it's out of order with some of the tapes. But you talked about the marijuana part, and at the earliest, when you ran before, you brought that up the first time you ran, and it became a part of some relaxing of some of the rules in the DA's office.
It did. I think that the campaigns brought change themselves. Because I had the opportunity to run in 2014 after Mike Anderson passed away and Devin was appointed, it gave me the opportunity to lay out a reform plan that would prioritize our spending. You know, the way we spend money in government dictates and says really what our beliefs, what our platforms are, and what the public's getting. So the public didn't want to waste $10 million a year on misdemeanor, nonviolent marijuana users.
What about the bail system that has people who have misdemeanor charges in and have difficult ways to get out? That's become a problem as well.
It's terrible. It's caused not just overcrowding, but a real crisis in faith in our system, because it's clear that we are keeping people in jail simply because they don't have enough money to bail out.
And what's that lawsuit look like now in terms of what is that?
There's multiple lawsuits, and basically Harris County, the Sheriff's Department, and the magistrates, the judges, because this is a judicial function, bail is, are being sued for this oppressive bail system. I am of the belief that the system, the bail system, and the schedule that the judges are using is being unconstitutionally applied. So, while I'm not a party to the lawsuit, I will have an influence, I hope, because our prosecutors make the original recommendation for bail. And I'm going to suggest that that the schedule that they use is not flexible enough to incorporate each person's individual circumstance. And that's what the law requires, that bail is there to secure people's reappearance. You have to make it possible for them to make bail. To do that, you need to take their financial circumstance into consideration. But the DA's job, I think, equally, is to ensure the public's safety. And so if they're a risk in terms of endangering the community, then we should be able to ask for a higher bond than on the schedule. We
have 30 seconds left. Let's talk about you said you want to be transparent in this office. What are you going to do to make sure that your office, DA office, is going to be transparent so everybody can see that you're doing the things you said you're going to do?
We are going to invite the community in to participate in our transition committees on long-range issues, such as forensic science and the handling of evidence, such as police shootings and the way we handle body camera footage, for example. Transparency at every level. Public corruption. You know, we're going to have a way for the public to report it, and nobody's going to get any special passes because of who they are or who their lawyer is. Likewise, we're not going to accuse somebody and harm their reputation just because somebody's made a complaint. So you can expect thoroughness and transparency.
Well, we met 18 years ago when I first got to Houston. I've watched you through that period of time. Congratulations on this latest ascent, if you will. I'll be watching with interest, and I hope you'll be back on the program once again.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I want to thank the public again for the opportunity they've given me to be their DA.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Cambrell.